It's the Wise Guy Report, and I'm Morgan Alexander with Adrian. We're brought to you and powered by our friends at Sports Clips, and we've got an extra little special podcast today because it's about a great organization, a foundation that we are talking about today, and you can see it on the screen. Cardz for Kids is with us today on the Wise Guys Report.
Yeah, Cardz for Kids. So something that I actually ran across with Kristina for. So a great charity. We're going to talk about that today, and I'm excited because it's something a little bit different than typically just sending cards to, uplift kids. But Cardz for Kids, they're uplifting spirits one card at a time.
Love it. I love that. And what we really need to do here is for the people that are watching this, listening to this right now, they're thinking to themselves, okay, I feel like I've heard of this, but, I want to get some more details. How do I feel like Cardz for Kids for me has been something that has kind of been floating around in the universe as a very, very positive thing that's going on. Explain to us now, as we have our guests here in the pod. Adrian, you want to introduce everybody?
Kristina Martin over here of Nashville, Tennessee. And we also have Calvin Martin out of Chicago. And there's actually a big promotion out of Chicago right now for Cardz for Kids at Kendra Scott, right? So Kendra Scott, the 29th and 30th, will be giving away, we'll say, what are they giving away over here?
Yes. So Kendra Scott is for every piece of jewelry purchased on www.kendrascott.com. There will be 20% of the proceeds donated to Cardz for Kids. And then also for every $100 spent with our code, there will be a piece of jewelry donated to a mother of a critically ill child.
Oh, wow. So one more time. So the second part is, one more time, I like that again, say it for us.
So for over every $100 spent using our code, which is going to go live tomorrow, they will donate a piece of jewelry to a mother of a critically ill child. So a child in the hospital, maybe someone involved with one of our partners like Ronald McDonald House or something like that.
I think that's wonderful because it's multifaceted. Actually, what they do is not just cards. And we're going to get into all of that today, but the fact that you're supporting both the parents and the children, it's a wonderful thing. So, Kristina over here, how did you get involved here with this Cardz for Kids?
So Cal and I, and also the founder and president of Cardz for Kids, EK Wankwo, are all from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I've been friends with EK since middle school, and I was aware I think he started during high school and continued during college, volunteering at our local children's hospital in Ann Arbor. And he's always loved art, started asking people to make cards to bring with him, and he would hand out the cards to the children at that hospital and saw how much it meant to him. And then when he moved to Chicago, it just kind of kept growing. I've just seen it grow and grow from really starting out where we needed people to make cards, because that's how it worked. It's all donated handmade cards, and we've now reached a point where we're getting tons of cards coming in, so we're needing more. And
you're getting cards from all over the place, people from all over the states. Are you getting
all over the
outside
world?
The areas all over the world? Wow.
Mm-hmm. We have partners. We have at least one partner on every continent and at least two partners in every state.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing outreach.
And so right now I hear there's a lot of cards that are happening, but it's the donations and the financing for the nonprofit that is the most important currently, right?
Yes. Because so many cards are coming in, just opening all those packages, recording who sent what card. All the cards are sent to Chicago, and we do hand check each card to make sure that it's an appropriate card. It doesn't say anything like stay strong or get well soon, that will remind the recipient that they're going through a tough time right now. We also take pictures of all the cards to post to social media. People love seeing their cards. And then we individually package them and ship them out to our partner organizations.
Okay, wonderful. And I know the Wise Guys, we're going to make a donation, and we're going to tie that into something later. So we'll surprise you with that at the end of the show. But
most of the time we're talking about sports. Now we're talking about support, is what we're doing. Yeah.
Support, yeah. Sports
support.
Normally we're bashing or uplifting each other in different ways, but today we actually have the privilege of just total support. So also, like the dedication of time, tell us about the things that goes into the organization that you're doing.
So much goes into it. So it's entirely volunteer run organization, and just I guess the sheer volume. So we sent over 100,000 cards in 2021, and that's expected to only continue to grow. And so I think just like the sheer volume of what goes into it, between building and maintaining the website, all the email blasts, all the social media, and then really, like I said, just the behind the scenes. It's difficult to even describe how many cards there are, but just to open all those
I didn't
cards,
actually know.
go through
I didn't
them.
actually know there was. Yeah, I didn't actually know there was going to be positivity holding up all the mail. But you guys are really doing a number on the U.S. mail service. Yeah, keeping the post office going with this whole thing. That's a lot of packages and letters.
And if you check out our social media, we have a lot of pictures of all the packages going out and some of our very large receipts for how much that shipping costs.
Now, when you go to cardsforkids.org, you can obviously go there now and you can see, we were talking about the Kendra Scott.
It's Cardz with a Z, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's Cardz with a Z and Kids with a Z. So, keeping it Z classy. Cal, I wanted to ask you this question because, you both said, Kristina, you said you guys got together when this all happened. Cal, what was your experience and what was your drive to also do this, Cardz for Kids and everything you're doing?
Really, my drive in the beginning was watching how and seeing how dedicated EK was to the organization and knowing that he was really doing it all on his own. And I was in outbound sales at the time and spending a lot of time on LinkedIn and seeing a lot of Cardz for Kids posts by EK. And I'd always be sharing them and liking them. And I've continued to do that through Instagram and Facebook and really just try to push his social media presence. But I came to the realization that I could also help him out by making cards. And one of the great things that I've learned about pitching the Cardz for Kids card making to your employer or to anyone really is it's extremely cheap. You need some macaroni noodles, some construction paper, scissors, markers, crayons, and also people really like to tap into the creative side, and some people are artists. I can barely draw a stick figure, but it's amazing to see what people can push out. And
Morgan is an artist on this show, and musically, I'm not very artistic in anyway. So
yeah, everything that I draw though just happens to be a mountain landscape. I can't get past just mountains and hills and little tiny bird stick figures. I'm a bird stick figure guy, so that's where my stick figures come in.
And then, so if people want to make cards, one of the unique things, it's never supposed to be like, hey, get well soon or focus on the sickness, right? So it's focusing on uplifting them, right? In other ways. So give us some great examples of that.
Exactly. And so, we started with children in the hospital and we've moved on to family support. We work with veterans, we work with seniors in long-term care, anyone who may be going through a difficult time that could use encouragement and could use their spirits to be uplifted. So our only rules is to keep it encouraging. Like I said, people can be as creative as they want. And there are some really amazing cards if you check it out on social media. If you're not artistic, we love jokes. Lots of people do jokes. And even though the name is Cardz for Kids, these cards are going to a lot of different places. So if maybe a kid theme isn't your thing, you could do something that perhaps a senior would appreciate. And we do ask that if you're doing something like that, you label your cards as such when you mail them in, so we know.
Yeah, so outside the children, what are the other people that you're sending the cards to?
So we're sending cards to Ronald McDonald House charities all over the world. We're involved with Make-A-Wish. We send cards also to like individual recipients, people we know who are going through a hard time. And
how are these people that you're finding that you're sending these cards to? How is that network coming to Cardz for Kids?
So,
how are you guys finding the people that need this?
So that's actually something, since we have so many cards coming in, we're actually looking for new partners right now. And so a lot of it has been organic, word of mouth, but also just reaching out and I guess investigating, searching the internet, looking for partners who seem like they would be a good fit with us, and just reaching out to them to see if they would be interested in receiving cards.
And if someone's hearing this, how can they reach you guys to say, hey, we want to be part of this program?
So if you go to www.cards with a Z for kids with a Z.com, There's all kinds of ways that you can help. You can donate. If you're in Chicago, you could host a card counting event. You could, like Cal did, set up through your work some sort of event to make cards. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Okay, wonderful.
Cal, we're looking here at some of the things you have coming on, especially for with Valentine's Day on the way, and both. I see that there's a Share the Love event that you guys have going on. Explain the Share the Love event. I mean, I love to share love. So, what's your version of Share Love for Cardz for Kids?
So the first part of the Share the Love event, I talked about a little bit. That's our promotion with Kendra Scott. And
Yeah,
it is timed so that anything purchased on those 2 days this coming weekend is going to be delivered in time for Valentine's Day. But Valentine's Day, it's usually thought of in terms of romantic partners. For me, I'm single. I'm thinking about self-love. I love Kendra Scott jewelry. I'm actually wearing my Kendra Scott earrings right now. They make beautiful.
I just took mine off. I'm so sorry, Kendra.
So, it's always great to self-love, give yourself a gift, your friends. We've got Valentine's Day, or even just sharing the love through family giving back and volunteering through. We do have a virtual event on February 5th. That's up on our events page too. And that's going to be a card making event with some donations and different raffles type stuff going on. So that should be a really fun event too.
Yeah, so check the socials then. And then applause again, because so many charities and people who help out, they give, 1% or 10%. March of Dimes is literally 10 cents of everything. I'm not taking a shot at March of Dimes or Good Bowl, it's like 1 or 2%. So I just want to applaud Kendra Scott for giving 20%. So 1/5 of everything is going to Cardz Kids this weekend. So you can go to kendrascott.com. And make the purchases there if you're out of state. And then there's the store on Michigan Avenue, world famous, in Chicago, where you can actually just purchase it in store. So now is the time. Now you have an excuse to shop, guys. And as I know,
Yeah, don't wait on this one, fellas, and even ladies, if you want to do that. I mean, guys, self-care is important for us as well, just as much as ladies really stress us self-care. I know that we are coming into a time where men are starting to recognize self-care as well. So things like that, you think of self-care, you think of sharing the love, all in these little moments right here in this time where I think, outside of the world that we're living in with the Wise Guys report, where we talk about sports, we think about the environment that we're in generally in the world. We just all need to spread a little bit more love. And this is a great way to do that as a whole. I think just, it's like a big bubble of love that's going out with Cardz for Kids and the Kendra Scott. And I think here with the Wise Guy report, I think this is something we can get out there and spread that fire for the love.
Which is wonderful. And sharing the love through just sharing Cardz for Kids and what we're about, and just word of mouth, letting more people know is wonderful. And also just thinking about when you're volunteering, this is all going towards people who are in need of encouragement, people who are going through a rough time. So even though you don't know the specific recipient of the card you make or the card you count or, the donation you make, you do know how much that's going to mean to that person and that they might need some love right now. Maybe it's a lonely senior who doesn't get visitors, or someone else that you wouldn't necessarily think of that it's really helpful to share the love with.
It's actually really timely, and this is a real story. It's going to sound kind of funny, but they had at Harvard, they had people, 2 different rooms, and students were told to talk negatively to one plant, as I stutter over that, and then positively to another plant in a different room. And it was the same plant, and the plant died that was giving the negative words. Yeah, so it's a real thing. I've heard it with water before too, saying like the changes in water. So it actually helps, what you're feeding people. And they even talk about things like cancer cells and those kinds of things. Feed off like destruction to the body, and positivity actually works. So it's a real scientific thing. Not to get hippy dippy on you guys, that's a real thing. So it does matter. And so Calvin, outline for us one more time, Cal, here, the ways to get involved. So obviously you can make the cards, and there's an abundance of cards now that you can't send more cards. That's great too. But there's so many other aspects. So you can have an event in Chicago, right? And then tell us what else you can do.
You can have an event. You can reach out to the organization directly. Really, what you can do is encourage the people that to actually participate in the events that are occurring. it's very difficult to host your own event when you don't really know too much about the organization. But if you know enough that an event's going on, get a carload full of people and get them to the event. And I had never seen that side of the organization before. You know, I'd made the cards. I'd never seen until I went into EK's condo and saw boxes stacked to the ceiling. So, you know, they need bodies. And I would really say the best thing to do is to get your friends to actually come.
Yeah, and I love that you guys are just boots on the ground over here with it, right? It's stacked in EK's condo over there, like a bunch of cards.
His condo is full of cards, and there's also a 10 by 10 storage unit full of cards. So we've got a lot.
Too. You can help in all ways. You can reach out to Cardz for Kids with whatever your gift is, right?
And there's a link to sign up for different things too. I did want to mention, so we have card counting events pretty regularly in Chicago. So anyone local to Chicago, that's a great thing to do. Cal had mentioned he participated in one of those events. We had one in December. It was called Joy to the World. And we had it at a bar in Chicago. And I invited Cal, and he ended up inviting his neighbor who, you know, didn't have any plans on coming, but just through sharing the word, it helps a lot. I actually even had a friend here in Nashville who came with me to Chicago just to volunteer, and just because she believes in the mission. So sharing the word can really lead to a lot of different things.
Well, wonderful. And tell us when, for the donations, what that gets you at different levels. Either of you can jump in on this. Whoever knows it better wants to just jump on it. I know the Wise Guys Report are going to make the donation, so we get the logo on there. So that's coming from us. We know Action 24/7, courtesy of KK Ventures, and the Hodges are going to be donating, so they get their logo on there. There may be a separate one from Advanced Financial, and then also Sports Clips. So that's we have donations coming in right now because we want to support. So it's one thing to tell everyone to do it, but we're all doing it over here. So
which is amazing.
The different levels of what that gives you when you donate.
Yeah, so if you go to our page, there's a button to donate, and you have a lot of different options. You could do a one-time donation, you could do a monthly donation. There's a lot of different ways to give. If you know you're individually, maybe you can give something. If you can't do it yourself, maybe you have connections to a company, and maybe that company would be willing to give a donation to you. So that's a great way to get involved with the donating side. A lot of people share like birthday fundraisers on Facebook. You can do that.
And so I hear about what's this iPad thing? I know I heard about this iPad thing. Tell
Yes.
me about that.
Yes. So we do reward our partners who give us a certain amount of money. I'm not 100% sure what it is on the iPad, but we do give out iPads, and we give out portable entertainment systems. So children who are kind of stuck in their rooms, what we do is we get these iPads and these portable entertainment systems preloaded with games that they're going to be interested in playing. And then that way they're able to kind of interact and do something even though they're stuck in their room. If you donate $4,000, then we will donate a portable entertainment system to an organization, a partner of your choice. So it may be
their choice, whatever they are.
Exactly. So it could be in whatever state. It could be maybe their passion is more foster children, or maybe their passion is more seniors or veterans, but they get to choose the organization that it will be donated to in their name. And
I like.
Yeah, there's a ribbon cutting ceremony and stuff too.
Yeah. What were you saying? A ribbon?
Yeah. So EK, the founder, will fly out to wherever we're donating it, and we have a ribbon cutting ceremony too. So it's good press.
I love a good ribbon cutting. Like that's my favorite part of any event. Oh my gosh.
Have everyone donate so we can cut some ribbons. I think Morgan will look good with a guitar in the background. Cutting the ribbon.
I'm going to Michael's right now, and I'm getting just a bunch of ribbon and just see what happens.
Scissors
Yeah.
Well. So so Cardz for Kids, you can follow it on all socials, and then Cardz for Kids, it's CARDZFOR, not the number, but the actual FOR. Kids, KIDZ.com. Anything if you're out of out of the Illinois, Chicago area, all of Illinois and Chicago essentially. But if you're out of the area, you can just go on KendraScott.com. It's the 29th and 30th. So coming up, 20% is going to go to Cardz for Kids. So yeah. If you are just like, hey, I want to buy some things, or you're thinking about buying some things, or Valentine's Day is coming up, Now's the time to do that on those days, and 20% is going to go to the organization. I think it's great. And then again, $4,000, and you get to outfit everyone with some iPads. I know I'm known to crash things, and I know the hospital gets real boring. So especially if you're in there longer than my normal 1 or 2 week stay, having that iPad preloaded it's in the preloaded with games, correct?
Yes.
And things like that for the kids. I think that's wonderful. Just already preloaded iPad for them to pass the time in there. And so there's so many different ways to get involved through the Cardz for Kidz. So yeah, all socials and cardsforkids.com, and then of course KendraScott.com for purchases.
I'm seeing this is so many things. Like I said, on both sides of this for me, as I'm learning about this more and more, even in this moment, I see it as just so much positivity on both sides of the coin that it's being divvied out. The people, like if you're sitting there and you're making a card for somebody, you didn't go to the store and you find a little card that has now you're making the card and you're making it specific. Your emotions are coming out of it. You're getting a little bit of a good feel out of it as well. Like if I was a kid in a classroom and my teacher came up to me and said, all right, kids, sit down. We're going to make some cards. This is going to be for Cardz for Kidz. And we're going to send these out. And it's going to go help out some people. When kids send out these little messages, the kids say the darndest things and you get these cards. I wanted to ask you both, just if you can even find a couple that you've seen, maybe an example of a card that you saw, or maybe there was an age of a kid that you were surprised by the way that they did the card. They were like, okay, this is very, very impressive, or this made me feel a certain way. Kristina, let me know, is there anything that you've seen, just, a story that you saw a card when maybe you're doing counting one night?
Yeah, so there are so many different amazing cards. Some of them, they're all handmade, but some of them like open up and do all these cool things. I think that's really great as far as good cards. It's amazing how artistic people can be. We do have lots of classes who make cards, and those children are pretty good artists. If you're not a great artist, jokes are great, anything like that. And there are, unfortunately, we have seen some inappropriate cards, which is why each card is hand checked to make sure that they are appropriate before they're sent to any of us.
Every card, how many applause things that if I were to volunteer, I wouldn't want to go through the hundreds of thousands of cards and go, yeah, that's a no. So I would say probably nothing, no weapons, probably, or anything negative. Don't talk about, you said, don't talk about get well soon, right? We want to stay away from focusing on the problem. Right?
Exactly. And we're also trying to stay away from commands such as stay strong. We'd rather have a proclamation like you are so strong or you are so beautiful, that kind of thing.
You really did it today. Good job. Stuff like that.
You really did it today.
You really did it today. That's my favorite. You really did it.
Morgan, if you see a card that says you really did it today,
that was mine.
That was for Morgan.
Yeah. Anything.
What have been some of the powerful cards that you've seen?
Well, for me, as I had mentioned, being one of the less artistic ones in the form of painting and drawing, the jokes, as Kristina said, or just the one-liners that'll bring a single tear to your eye. It's amazing what people can say, and just knowing that's going to land in somebody's hand that's not having too great of a day. And if it makes you feel good, you think that, you're pretty sure that it'll make them feel a bit better as well.
Yeah, if you're watching this right now and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm tired of Hallmark not taking my cards because I think they're brilliant. Well, Cardz for Kidz is more than willing to take your amazing cards, and we want to see them, and we want to spread the love. Again, keep the positivity there, Mr. Card or Mrs. Card Maker, but I also want you to know that you have found a home if you don't already have a home for where you can send the cards you make.
Yeah, so go online again, Cardz for Kidz. It has all the ways you can donate or volunteer in your local areas. Again, KendraScott.com. 20% goes to that, and then also a piece of jewelry to the mother, which I think is wonderful as well. And then I'll try to donate over $100 make the cards if you're like, hey, I'm kind of financially strapped. Take 20 minutes, take however long, and express yourself artistically. And then, financially, if you can donate, that's what they need the most, and also more boots on the ground.
Absolutely. And also, if you happen to have a particular skill that you think might be useful, just like Morgan and Adrian are doing right now with donating this podcast, there's lots of ways to get involved. If you are, or you have a friend who has a skill like that, that would be great. Also, if you work with or volunteer with an organization that seems like they have people who would want to receive cards, please get in touch with us. Let us know. We're always looking for more volunteers.
Yeah, and if we do something in Nashville, I'll make Morgan play the guitar, as he's a wonderful singer on Broadway. And his improv work is...
Yeah, we'll just make up songs. Yeah, for the right amount of donation, I think I could, if you donate, let's say roughly $4,000, we could probably come up with something where I write a song for you, and and then it becomes a song about something positive. It's a thing that I think that I can make up a song about somebody in just 3 things I know about you. So we could come up with a whole song. And if you donate for Cardz for Kids, we'll talk about this off the air, of course. And if we can make something like that, I'd love to help as well. Real quickly, before we get to a point where we're like, okay, yeah, once again, it's the Wise Guys Report. I'm Morgan and Adrian. We are with Cardz for Kids, and their mission is uplifting spirits one card at a time. You can go to cardzforkids.com. That's CARDZ for kids with the Z.com. And you're going to be uploading a code for this jewelry fundraiser for Kendra Scott that's happening January 29th and 30th. And how are they going to be able to find that code?
So if you go to our events page, you can RSVP. Then you will receive an email. It's going to go out tomorrow morning. The code will be good for Saturday and Sunday, but it's going live tomorrow. As far as going out, it's also going to be posted on all our social media accounts.
Wonderful. And as Morgan said earlier, you guys did it today. I just want to say
you did it.
So we appreciate you guys. Anything closing here that you guys want to add in there, Cal or Kristina?
Just want to say thank you guys for hosting us and inviting us on the show, and helping spread the word about Cardz for Kids.
Real quickly, tell everybody one more time, social media wise, website wise, the direct way they can go and find everything about Cardz for Kids.
Yeah, so Cardz for Kids, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us on basically any social media if you just search for our name. There's also links to social media on our website. And again, the website is www.cardz, both with Z's.org.
And you can find pictures of those cards that have been made and all those things as well from the past and being part of their future.
And also, if you are considering a donation and you want to know where your money is going to, we do have graphs with that sort of thing. So you can see kind of what the cost of shipping is and what the cost of storage, what the cost of the various other things that we need to run the organization.
Wonderful. So yeah, keep it going, guys. Keep the positivity going. Be people who are giving their hours of their life here to make a positive difference. So I love it.
It's the Wise Guys Report, and we thank you for tuning into this special podcast edition with Cardz for Kids. And until next time, make sure you spread positivity where you are, no matter what.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys.